Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Khaki, and I've been sick for 8 days straight. And like any good beauty YouTuber, inner, outer, or otherwise, I'm going to turn lemons into lemonade today and show you guys how I glow up so that the world believes that I am human. I'm gonna try anyway. You guys, I hadn't showered in 2 days. I spent the entirety of yesterday blowing my nose, the whole time. I wake up in the morning and I drink coffee and I take Dayquil with my coffee, and for some reason it's awesome. It makes it kick in really fast, and then just all of a sudden everything loosens up because I'm pretty sure my brain's been replaced by a snot factory, and it just goes whoosh, and it just didn't stop raining out of my nose yesterday. So as you can see, this is better than a doctor's note. You take this to work and everybody's like, get away from me. My nose is so flipping red, so we're going to try and solve for that today and kind of pep talk along the way. It's going to be a fun little get ready with me. So I'm gonna move the camera in on my facey face and we're gonna go ahead and get started. But first, I wanna remind you to go ahead and subscribe. That's all I got. I don't have a fancy song or anything like that. Just, my name's Khaki and you should subscribe to my channel. Cool, let's do it. You're too sexy, beautiful, everybody wants a taste, that's why. I have no filter when I'm sick. I get at this running on fumes stage of being sick where it's kind of the same as having a glass of wine on an empty stomach. I'm just kind of no inhibitions at all. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of that today. Okay, so I got my mirror here. The first thing I want to start off with is this bad boy, fresh out of the freezer. This is my jade roller. My boyfriend also likes it because he gets puffy eyes in the morning. Okay, the other things that I've been loving lately for taking care of this sad, pathetic skin situation. The dryness combined with the acne, it's just really difficult to know how to remedy that. I have actually found that pure tea tree oil, I learned this from Desi Perkins, you put a little tea tree oil on these bad boys, and they dry up so fast, but not in a really dry way because it's an oil. I recently picked up this bad boy. I think this is gonna be in my favorites / probably become a holy grail item for me. This is Epi Serum L Lip Care. I got it at my dermatologist, but you can get it online. It is mainly geared towards people who are on Accutane because it makes your lips so dry when you're on Accutane. I put it on and I'm like, okay, I know it's really lightweight, but it works really well. And then I got in the shower this morning and I was like, oh, it's waterproof. It's gonna be so fun editing out all the nose blowing in this video. Okay, so I've got a little bit of the Glossier priming moisturizer on my face right now. I've gone back to using this. I really love the way that it feels, and it is actually a really good primer. And we're going to also start with kind of an illuminating primer. Today's gonna be a makeup look where we're overcompensating for the fact that I feel like dog shit. So we're going to just brighten the hell out of my skin. So I've got this IPKN Radiant Cream Primer, broad spectrum SPF 15, which doesn't matter because I'm definitely not leaving my house today. That already looks better, doesn't it? So as you guys may know, I don't really use a foundation most of the time, so we're not going to use a foundation today because I don't ever use one. So I'm just going to go straight in with the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. Oh my god, you guys, my face is so sad and veiny right now. The way I've been waking up lately, I just look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, girl, we got some distance to cover with some makeup today. So I call Zoobly Zoo Face. If you know what I'm talking about, please say so in the comments. I say this every time I do this, that I have Zoobly Zoo Face, and everybody's no one ever responds, and I'm just like, okay, cool. So I guess that was a show I imagined as a child. I don't know. I started using this Real Technique sponge because my mom got hooked on them, and I've gotten pretty into it. So this is an EcoTools fluffy powder brush, and it's a little bit looser of a density of the brush bristles than the one that I featured in my yearly favorites, but this one is really good for diffusing powder onto the skin. And we're gonna be going in with the Glossier Wowder, which you can't see because the lights are so damn bright. So one of the things that I've noticed with these kinds of trampoline delivery systems is that, it's kind of hard to pound your brush in there to get it when it's kind of, running out. So what I do is I kind of shake it like that, and it brings more product up to the top. And if you're unfamiliar with the Wowder, it's awesome because It doesn't give any flashback, and it mimics natural skin, and I always say it works so well with a finishing spray. Like, a finishing spray just like makes this stuff shine. So I have a 20% off link down there below for all orders on Glossier, so hit that up if you're interested. Now we're going to go in with my favorite brush. My little fluffy guy here. This is also an Eco Tools brush, and we're going to go in with the Pink Leopard. This is pretty standard. You guys know I'm going in with my Pink Leopard. You're going to make it quick. I'm just going to kind of hit the back of my face all the way around. You know what I mean? Like everything that's not at the front. This stuff's so forgiving that you really don't even have to tap your brush off. You just kind of like go ham with it. It's fine. Oh, bless. Oh, yes, that looks so much better already. Okay, we're going to go in with my favorite winter blush, and that is by NARS, and it is Exhibit A, and we're just going to kind of touch all of the little flushed parts of my face with that. Breathe a little life into these cheeks. Breathe a little life into these cheeks. And I even put it all over right there. On my forehead. Blendy, 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 blendy. And you can still see my freckles. That's what I like about it, is that now that I didn't use any foundation, all I did was just kind of like powder down my primer and then start in with my blush and stuff. You can still see my freckles. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of this Makeup Forever Full Cover Camouflage Cream. I just take the tiniest little bit, like that. And I just kind of spread it out a little bit, get it really sheer. And then I just touch these spots that I want to conceal very gently. I'll get it on each one, and then I'll let it dry down just a touch, because it does dry down really nicely. And then I'll just kind of go and blend around it with the heat of my finger. I want to just kind of set those little spots real quick, so I will take my same little powder brush and dip it ever so slightly into the MAC Studio Fix, which is, you know, a powder foundation, and it will cover anything, so I'm always really, really careful with this stuff. Because we have powdered everything, and I don't really like that finish, what I will do is two things. One, I will hit it with some Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector all over my whole face. I really think that that is the thing that looks the best on me, and I will kind of just sort of distribute it in sort of like a little crucifix on my face, and then I'll just blend all over. I just want to make my makeup look like skin again, and if you put a really light diffused layer of this all over your whole face, that's what it accomplishes. And the second step is going to be giving it a full spray with the finishing spray, but I don't want to do that until I get my eyes and everything done. So let's do that next! Alright, I'm going in with a brow pencil, and it is Benefit, and I'm just using little like feathery hair-like strokes here. This is the first time I've tweezed my eyebrows in like 2 weeks today, so. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna keep it pretty simple today. I'm just not like a huge fan of the whole like, on my eyes. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not me. I'm gonna start with the Groundwork Pro Longwear Paint Pot from MAC. I'm just gonna kind of put that on my lids and sort of blend it up, but not all the way up kind of thing. Just sort of, you know, really, really thin layer to make it look like, oh hey, maybe she meant to have sunken in eyes. Maybe those like bedroom eyes are like, you know, an intentional thing that she did, and maybe, you know, she isn't actually just like 6 days dehydrated. Alright, and that's just a nice little base that adds just a touch of depth. And I'm going to just kind of go in with this Paula's Choice Mattes and a Glam. It's the tiniest, cutest little eyeshadow palette, and I don't know, guys, nobody talks about Paula's Choice. I love her stuff. I love her skincare. I like her makeup a lot. I get compliments every time I wear it. So this is just a really chill little palette with some really great matte neutrals in it and a purple I will never use. And so I'm going to just kind of start with that to establish a little bit of a base, and then we're just going to kind of like do a little choice highlighting. Start with the kind of mid-tone and get that all over as our transition shade. Drink every time a beauty YouTuber says transition shade. And this is just a Sephora brand fluffy brush. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a pot concealer. This is from Carez. Just dabby dab and cover these like vein situations going on at the tops of my eyes here. And then I'm going to take the lightest shade of the, it's not a quad, but it's a quad because I'm only going to use 4. Call it a quad. and set that. It is so hard to find a shade that highlights on my skin. My skin is so pale. We're gonna get a little bit of depth with the kind of third color here. This is a pretty powdery palette, but I don't even really mind. Like, it doesn't have a ton of fallout on my face. It just taps off a lot. And then I'm gonna take that darkest shade right at the corner. Kind of bring it out a little bit because my eyes are really close set. So I like to just add a little bit of shadow there that kind of makes it look like my socket goes a little further. Like, look at the difference side to side, like where I just put that and just kind of brought it out a touch more versus that side. Like, it just looks like my eyes are bigger and maybe a little farther apart. The reason we're not using that purple shade is because my skin tone is just so warm. It's like orange yellow almost, that you put purple on me and it just looks so odd. It looks so odd, and like the quality of those pigments is never really good anyway, and you put purple on me and it's like I look like I'm either dead or like I'm wearing someone else's like lips or eyes or something. It just looks so strange on me, so I really steer clear of those kinds of colors. Alright, and I'm just using the medium color to kind of blend that back up. Once I've got like a relatively empty brush, I'll just kind of go underneath the eye too. Okay, now that we've got a really nice foundation situation going on with my eyes, I'm going to go in with this Laura Mercier, what is this? This is a Caviar Stick Eye Color in Copper, and just really pretty. It is made to go like directly on your eyes, but I find that it's too chunky for that. It doesn't really work, so I'm just gonna kind of take my finger like this, very gently, and I'm just gonna kind of place that right on the inner third, right here. So I'm going to go back in with my little palette here and just kind of blend where the cream shadow meets the outer corner a little bit more with just that medium tone kind of taupey shade. And what we need now, before eyeliner and everything else, is sort of a brighter highlight. So I'm going to go not into an eyeshadow, but into another one of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, and this is in Opal. So it's a much kind of cooler tone, and I will just use this kind of on the center of the lid, a little bit on the brow bone, and then in the inner corner of the eye. I like the way that that looks. I'm going to go in with a little bit of eyeliner now. My future mother-in-law got me a bunch of these Le Stylo waterproof Lancome eyeliners for my Christmas, like in my stocking, and I have gotten really into Bronze Riche. I like it because it has a little bit of shimmer to it, and the shimmer makes it really forgiving. It doesn't give you that hard line on your eyes, and it's a lot easier to blend. Plus, even though it's really workable, it does dry down to being waterproof, which is really nice. So I'm just kind of poking it into the in-between of my eyelashes, and it's kind of making sort of a smudgy line, and then I'll take the little eraser back of this thing and continue to sort of like smudge the line in a little bit more. I mean, don't be sloppy on purpose, but like it doesn't have to be perfect. This is a really nice little eraser attachment on this guy too. But I've become such a fan of a softer line. The older I get, the less I want to like draw shapes on my face. Be careful too when you're smudging this stuff, because if you keep your eyes closed really hard all the way, you might get eyeliner from here down to the bottom lid, so kind of like keep it gently open while you're doing this. And then I will take a little bit of what's left on here and just kind of hit the lower lash line. Right on the outside edge. I don't want to do it all the way again because it'll make my eyes look back closer set. Now that we've kind of worked the eyes a little bit, I can kind of see where I want to put a little bit more pigment. I do want to put a little bit more on my cheeks. Lisa Eldridge always says that, you know, a lot of times you'll just see things that you want to enhance more and more as you get more things on the face, and I totally agree with that. The other thing I want to do is, I've gotten, since I did this with my fingers, I got a little bit too much of this shadow kind of like too low on my inner corner, and I'm going to just kind of touch that up. This is the best eraser in the world, the MAC Studio Fix, because the last thing you want is a whole bunch of sheen on that part of your eye that tends to kind of go purple anyway, but I also don't like that whole cake and bake, like flat surface look right there, so kind of try and find a happy medium. And I will always, like, I find that I always go back in and just kind of like kiss my cheeks with the NARS Exhibit A again, just because a lot of times the Shimmering Skin Perfector kind of like dampens it down a little too much, so I will just kind of pop the cheeks a little bit with it. And this is another EcoTools brush. Pretty much all of my face brushes are EcoTools. Nice, affordable brush. Oh, excellent. Okay, let's groom my brows here. We've done the brow pencil, but I want to groom them with my Glossier Boy Brow. And we're going to be using Glossier Boy Brow in brown. One. This is, to date, my favorite Glossier product. It is just so easy to use, and it makes such a big difference. All right, now we are going to hit this with a little bit of finishing spray before we go and do mascara and lips. I'm not James Charles, y'all. All right, let's go in with my favorite new mascara, my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. All right, top lash is done. I also got it a little bit on my skin, but this stuff's really great for flaking off of your skin when it actually dries, so that's good. We're gonna go in with my favorite lip combo right now, and this really brings the look together, I find. So right now I've got like serious concealer lips going on. So we're gonna go in with this L'Oreal Colour Riche Anti-Feathering Lip Liner in Croque-Caramel. Lip liner always looks crazy at first. Bear with me, I know I look crazy, just hear me out. We're gonna go in with my old classic fave here, the Lancome Nuit et Joux, not Nuit, Nuit et Joux, I don't speak French. And I just kind of rub it like on the actual lip liner. And kind of rub it, like mix them with my finger. Clean up on Isle Kaki's mouth. Yeah, you gotta clean up your edges. And I find that that makes a big difference in just making my lips look like they exist. We'll clean up a little bit around the edges with some powder in a second, but I want to go ahead and get the bottom mascara on. And then I just kind of go in with the MAC powder and clean up anywhere that I think I need to. So that's it, guys. That's my Convince the World That I'm Actually Human glow up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will list all the products that I use down below and any discount codes that I have for any of the products mentioned. You can also find down there. If you guys enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I'm making videos even though I'm sick because I love you guys. And if you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, please hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will talk to you as soon as possible. Bye.